he told me. His folks are here tonight. I know Debbie Taylor's trying to make some connections there. And here's J.D. Martin, who is a 26-year-old rookie in his 9th professional season. Rob, it's taken him a while and a long road to get here.
It has. It's been a long road. He's had some injuries, but he was the #1 pick with the Cleveland Indians back in 2001, so he's got the credentials and the pedigree. 2005 had the Tommy John, but he is back and shoot for 3 times through the lineup. That's all we really need. Haven't been getting that many great starts out of some of these young guys. Let's see if the 26-year-old who's getting his Major League debut tonight can make the most of it.
Nationals defensively, some changes tonight. Ryan Zimmerman has the night off. So does Josh Willingham. So a start at third for Willie Harris. 1 in right for Austin Kearns. Jim Riggleman said today Austin Kearns can still help this ball club. They're going to give him a start now and then to see if he can do so. We're underway at 7:06. Cloudy skies, threat of rain, 75 degrees, and J.D. Martin's first major league pitch, a strike. So is his second one, and it's 0-2.
Well, you saw by the walks to strikeouts, he's going to throw a lot of strikes. Got a sinker, cutter, great changeup, and great curveball. So he's got 2 excellent out pitches. So hopefully he can get over the nerves and the butterflies and the parents being here and just go out and face a battered and beleaguered Met lineup.
In fact, there are 4 batters in the Mets lineup tonight that have not hit a home run. They're 52 homers, the fewest in the major leagues. And a 1-2. Half swing. You hope it goes foul, but it doesn't, and it's a hit for Angel Pagan. It just hugged the grass all the way down.
Well, it's an excuse me swing right there. It hits the dirt and it goes fair. All Willie Harris can do is sit there and catch it. Pagan's got excellent speed, so you got to watch him.
He's also
on the hitter here because he's a slap guy.
Yeah, he's stolen 6 bases in 6 attempts. The one hitter the Nats seem to have a lot of trouble with here, with Gary Sheffield out of the lineup tonight, is Luis Castillo. Sheffield nursing a bit of a sore hamstring. Had a cramp over the weekend chasing a ball in the gap. Castillo at 290. He's always been a good ground ball and line drive hitter.
No, there's only 2 guys that have 5 home runs each. And that would be Wright and Murphy. Other than that, and Francoeur, excuse me, you challenge everybody else. They slap it, whatever. You just have to go after them. No walks to these fast guys.
Yeah. Castillo lays one down. Martin's got it. Quick exchange. Played it well. Castillo made a play out of it, and it's a 1 out. They'll give him a sacrifice, even though he was bunting for a hit. All right. Most rookie starters in the major leagues, and it's kind of surprising that a staff that has a Roy Halladay on it would be there with the Nats with 6.
They've had a ton of injuries up in Toronto also, though. A lot of their good starters are injured.
Interesting that the only team on that list at or near the top of the division, the Angels. And the Mets will take the lead. Daniel Murphy with his 30th RBI. A 1-out double for him. So that little ball that stayed fair pays off for New York. Murphy went up first pitch swinging. And Rob, I was about to ask you, when batters at the major league level are seeing a pitcher for the first time, would they take a couple pitches? But Murphy obviously did not.
Well, there was the cutter right there, and I don't know, because he's got such good out pitches, you don't want to let him get to them. So they've probably been warned, don't let him get to the big 12-6 curveball, don't let him get to his changeup. And so you saw Murphy swing at that first pitch cut fastball, and he ripped it down the right field line.
Here's David Wright. I think one of the reasons the Mets got Jeff Francoeur was to give Wright some protection in the lineup. There are oftentimes when Ryan Church would bat before David Wright, but Francoeur is a 5, 6, 7 type hitter. Used to be more of a 5 type hitter a couple of years ago, but he has slumped so badly. But he's the guy hitting behind David Wright, who's still batting 7th best in the league at 322. 3-0. Maybe the Nats don't want anything to do with Wright here. First base open, top of the first. Well, David Wright's batting average nearly 40 points higher. On base percentage is up. Home runs down. And the RBI is way down. There's just not a whole lot in this lineup around him right now to help him out with all these injuries. Hunter Wendelset calls it a strike. 11-year veteran behind the plate. Doug Eddings at first, Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, at second base, and Brian Knight at third. Swing and a foul tip, and it's held on by Bard, battling back from a 3-0 count to get a strikeout.
Well, obviously they weren't pitching around David Wright. It was just maybe a little bit of nerves, and I like it. J.D. Martin comes right back, 3 consecutive fastballs right down Broadway, and Wright gets to take a seat next to Jerry Manuel.
Here's Jeff Francoeur hitting .252. And I mentioned Gary Sheffield a few moments ago. We have been told he's going to be at least attempting to be back in the lineup tomorrow night against John Lannon.
That was beautiful. There's the big curveball. 12-6.
Francoeur, one of the more puzzling players in the National League right now. Coming off a 239.08. When he hit only 11 home runs and drove in 71, he had driven in 105 runs the previous year with Atlanta. And he's a local Atlanta kid out of Lilburn. You know, but the Braves are like that. You don't produce, you are gone.
I was told by a scout that he would not change his way of his approach at the plate. And they tried for years to get him to change, and he wouldn't. And that was one of the reasons they let him go.
The Braves have drafted lots of local players in recent years, including Francoeur, Brian McCann, and others. But that's the Atlanta way. They've been that way for a long time. You don't produce, you're gone. We'll get somebody in here who will. And Ryan Church for Francoeur, straight up.
Well, I like Jeff an awful lot, but if you're struggling and you still won't listen to advice, they're not going to really put up with that at this level. You have to have some flexibility when you're not hitting the way you're supposed to be hitting.
1-2 pitch. Play. I did have a chance to look at the radar a few minutes ago. There is weather out to the west of us, but if you drew a straight line from Nationals Park to the southwest, the radar was actually pretty clear. So hopefully enough time to get a ball game in tonight. We've had a sprinkle or two. 1-2 to Francoeur. Out of play right side. This is another one of those hitters who at times is like Alfonso Soriano, who we saw over the weekend. You get him to 2 strikes, you don't have to throw him a strike to get him out. He is very aggressive. And at times in his career, he's put the first pitch in play more than 50% of the time. Jeremy Reed is next. Breaking ball, you hang one, he'll make you pay for it. And Francoeur with his 41st RBI. Rob, considering the kind of hitter he is, that's a real bad pitch.
Well, when it is a trick pitch, and what I mean by that is it's got a certain rotation that is recognizable by hitters, and Francoeur is a decent enough on the Northrop Grumman. He recognizes the 12-6 rotation on that curveball. You saw him stay at home and then just drive it down the left field line. So it's the same thing that we talked about with George Zimmerman the other day. You must be careful throwing too many of the same pitch and run it back to a hitter at this level.
That ball's hard hit. Ronnie Belliard's on the outfield grass. Throws out Jeremy Reed. J.D. Martin doesn't fool anybody in the first major league inning of his career. 2 for the Mets. runs by the year, and he hit one yesterday. A Nationals record since coming here in 05 for a left-handed batter. Livan Hernandez was here back then. He was in the process of going 15-10 for the Nats in 35 starts. He's only won one ball game, Rob, since he dropped that complete game on Washington back in New York and then beat the Nats here on June 7th. He beat Craig Stammen that day, went 7 shutout innings on only 4 hits. So the Nats haven't been able to solve Livan Hernandez at all this year. There's Craig Stammen, victimized that day. Let's see if Nyjer Morgan can get something going. He'll drive that ball to left, but it's hanging up for Jeremy Reed, 1 out. Morgan had a good series against the Cubs. Livan Hernandez and Rob has our PNC scouting report.
3. He's got 3 wins in 15 other starts that didn't come against the Washington Nationals. Right-handed hitters are hitting .337 off of him this year, and he is the Fred Sanford of Major League pitchers. He is a junker, junk ball extraordinaire. He will drop it all the way down to 65 miles an hour tonight.
I can hear the theme song in my head right now. Sanford and Son. Thank you, Rob. 1-0 to Ronnie Belliard.
My favorite guy was Rollo. Hey, Lamont. Come in. Talking all kinds of stuff.
Ronnie Belliard's been talking some stuff. 5 for his last 16 over his last 4 starts. He's had a few more at bats the last 2 weeks and has been able to drop in some hits. Trying to get the batting average over that 200 mark. With Ryan Zimmerman out of the lineup tonight, getting a night off. A ripple effect puts Johnson third, Dunn fourth, as Adam usually is, but somebody had to hit second. I'm a little surprised Jim Riggleman didn't hit Guzman second, a left-handed batter, but maybe that's why. He knew Ronnie Belliard would line one hard to left field for Washington's first base hit.
Oh, he knew Livan was his kind of guy. I just told you, they're right-handed hitters hitting .337 off Livan. It takes away his big changeup.
So why doesn't Guzman bat right-handed tonight?
Because if Guzman catches one of those changeups on the inner half, he's going to hit a home run.
New look to the outfield now with Jeff Francoeur out there and that great arm of his. Alex Cora, Luis Castillo, pretty good up the middle. Young Daniel Murphy across from David Wright, and our old buddy Brian Schneider behind the plate. Too bad Nyjer Morgan couldn't get on. Now Livan is good at holding runners, but he's slow to the plate, and so are his pitches. The Nats could have had a good running opportunity, and maybe another time or two tonight they will. Nick Johnson hitting .305. There's a runner going and then coming back. That was interesting. Belliard started, stopped, and then he heard the contact by Nick Johnson and started again until he realized it was a foul ball.
Jim Riggleman likes this type of game. The false starts, the delayed steal, which Nick Johnson did the other day to perfection. It's 3 shuffles off the base, and then you take off for second. Nobody really expects it. Nobody's covering the base, and right there, Ronnie Belliard, he wants everybody in the house to say going to screw up Livan Hernandez.
1-1 count now. He's holding. Nick takes a fastball outside, 2-1. Nick Johnson's hit safely now in 12 of his last 14 games. So that rough stretch he went through about 10 days before the All-Star break is obviously over. 4th in the league in on-base percentage and 7th in walks. Target outside half. And Livan had Nick reaching. And that is safe at second as Murphy pulls Cora off the bag. That'll be an error on Daniel Murphy, his 8th of the year. With a 2-run lead, he had an easy out at first base, but he chose to take a risky route.
Well, and you don't have a fast runner in Nick Johnson. You have to recognize this as a first baseman. Just a good throw to second. At least get one. Especially the lead runner right here. Forget the assuming a double play, and now he's put his pitcher in a little bit of a pickle.
Tying runs on base, and here's Adam Dunn. They're going to play behind Nick Johnson at first. So Nick will be able to have a big lead. They do not have a shift on here. The Mets are one of the few teams against the Nats who leave the shortstop on the left field side of second base. And he reaches and hits a double play ball. Levon had him reaching out and rolling over a ball, just like Nick Johnson did. The Nats are gone in the bottom of the first, and the Mets lead 2-0.
Be here. We're able to get out here from North Las Vegas and to be here to enjoy this with JD. It's been a long time coming.
It was very interesting to me that you told me you were here just last week getting a tour of Nationals Park because you do some contracting for the Department of Defense. I bet you never thought you'd be here a week later watching your son.
I actually told the chef who gave me the tour, he actually let us in and we got to look at the field. The Nationals were on the road, and we looked at the field, and I said, I hope to be back here real soon. And I actually went and knocked on the window. I saw the chef at the President's Lounge there, and he told me he remembered us, and he really congratulated us for being here tonight. So that was very nice.
It has been such a long road for your son. A lot of people probably don't understand all the hard work that he went through. 9 years as a professional, Tommy John surgery. What made him get back to the big leagues or get to the big leagues?
It's just persistence. That's all he's ever wanted to do. He even said if his arm ever went out, then he'd go back to first base and start playing that. He did that in high school and loves the game. And his brother and JD grew up as pitchers, and I was a pitcher. And as a single parent, that's all I could teach him is how to pitch and make sure they got their schoolwork done and raise those kids in baseball what I knew best. And he's just continuing the whole joy of baseball.
Your son Kevin also played with him in the Indians farm system. Is it a thrill for him to be here as well?
Kevin's so excited. He's not going to have any fingernails left here after tonight, I'll tell you. But he is very excited. They're just really close brothers and grew up together. And Kevin and JD idolizes Kevin and has always been behind him. In the outfield when he was playing, pitching, and they together played for a long, long time together and love each other.
Okay, John, thank you so much. We look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you, and all the National fans, thank them. Thank you.
Okay, Bob, back up to you.
Thank you, Debbie Taylor, a great baseball family. John Martin, young JD, his brother Kevin. Chatted with JD this afternoon. He was so proud of the fact that he had been in the Cleveland organization with his brother. And here's Brian Schneider hitting only .225, but 7 of his last 12 hits have gone for extra bases. 4 doubles and all 3 of his home runs this year. That's a breaking ball that'll have him looking at the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Bob, you know, if Martin has trouble with this lineup, it's a real good gauge of where he is as far as, is he a major league pitcher? This is as close to a minor league lineup as the Mets could throw out there at you. You know, all the injuries that they have right now, a lot of these guys are backup and even backups to the backup that are in the game tonight.
His first major league inning, 21 pitches, 16 strikes and 5 first pitch strikes to 6 hitters. Maybe too many balls were over the middle of the plate. The breaking ball that he hung to Francoeur certainly was. If he takes that pitch and puts it in the dirt or a foot outside, Francoeur probably strikes out. He needs a ground ball right now, and keeping the ball down, he misses 2-2.
Well, the key to his success is get ahead early and quickly, because he doesn't have overpowering stuff. So to be 26, 25 with the Indians back in Double-A ball, and that's why he was let go and the Nationals picked him up. Obviously, they didn't see enough over a 6-year period to think that he should stay in their organization. Does not have overpowering stuff, but he has excellent control and command. So against this team, you got to be challenging them and then putting them away, at least with ground balls and some strikeouts tonight.
2-2 pitch. Close, but ball 3.
Check out his delivery right here. He's got a great balance point. Here's the separation on the hands. Everything looks very nice. Doesn't throw across his body.
With the runner going and a bouncer. That'll mean only one play for Ronnie Belliard at first. Down to second goes Cora. That's the first down. Let's talk about the walking wounded, the MASH unit known as the New York Mets. Carlos Delgado with his hip. Carlos Beltran with that knee. He tried to play through that deep bone bruise and was able to do it for a while. They think it'll be a while for Jose Reyes in that calf muscle. And the other worthy of note, John Maine is throwing off flat ground now. And J.J. Putz is the only reliever with any saves other than Francisco Rodriguez.
Well, and Niev is not on there either, and he left the game yesterday with a bad leg.
Yeah, they put him on the DL today.
Okay, so you got another pitcher.
Fernando Nieve.
Nieve is on the DL. Nice should be coming up. That's an extra guy to throw out there on that.
Wow. Here's Levon. He's 4 for 29 this year. And a .229 career hitter with 75 RBIs. He's always been able to hack.
They were hoping that government health care, public health care would come a little early.
And that little chopper fielded by the pitcher. On to Nick Johnson for the second out. Grand Slam Flex Plan. We've been telling you about it. It'll be in effect for a while. You can pick 4 games. You get a 5th one free. 5 different plans to choose from. Pick your plan, your games, your seats, and get a free game. 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/Grand Slam. Top of the order now. And Angel Pagan, whose little check swing roller was an unfortunate break for J.D. Martin and the Nats, had rolled right down the third base line inside the bag. And after a sacrifice, he scored on a Daniel Murphy double. Murphy scored when Francoeur doubled. And the Mets lead 2-0, out hitting the Nats 4-1. A little bit up and in, 1-1.
Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, it was. Cubs are underway at Philadelphia. Ted Lilly, Rodrigo Lopez tonight, and the Phillies have a 6.5 game lead in the East. And a good one at the letters.
Good cutters. Got a backdoor cutter, like Mariano Rivera, just not quite as hard, but great command. And he's got to stay on the edges. He can't, like you said, get too much of the plate. Then he's very hittable.
Second base is Alex Cora. Good speed there. Led off the inning with a base hit. Angel Pagan's a 27-year-old switch hitting outfielder from Puerto Rico.
Our eye in the sky up here next to us. See him draw a straight line right there. He would fall on the other side perfectly.
Well hit to center. Ball in front of Morgan. And then, unless he makes a great throw, which he does, but the tag is missed, the Mets will lead 3-0. Cora came flying by Josh Bard, who does not argue. That indicates to me that Josh didn't feel any contact with the glove. That was well played by Nyjer Morgan, who nearly registered his 11th assist.
This is an excellent throw by Nyjer Morgan. One hop right to Bard. Yep, and Cora with a beautiful slide. Watch him get around Bard and then throw his hand up on the plate. Wow, this is a nice slide. Alex Cora.
Everybody played that well. The center fielder, the catcher, and the base runner. And now Luis Castillo bats after sacrificing his first time. 5 hits by the Mets in their first 10 batters against J.D. Martin. Two and 0.
Let's look at this play at the plate. He's going to go around, and there you see right at the end, he's going to smack his hand on the plate.
Calling himself safe.
Sometimes the umpire needs a little bit of help.
Two and 1 to Castillo, who's driven in 19 runs this year. And it looks like 20. This will be no contest at home plate. It'll be second on the throw for Castillo, and the Mets lead 4-0.
Well, with 2 outs, this throw's got to go to the cutoff man. The run's going to score easily. And Nyjer trying and hoping to make a great play, but still you allow the speedy Castillo to walk to second base, and another hit, and it's another run.
And that's why pitchers back up home plate. The runner slid right into the arm of Josh Bard as he was trying to extend to pick up the throw. Good base running by Castillo.
It's just some things that can help you win ball games. You never know. You may come back, and if that run Castillo scores and you lose 5-4, you can look back to this inning and say, well, that's when you probably should have hit the cutoff man. It's just those little things that the Nationals need to tighten up on defense. 2 outs, know where you're throwing the ball.
Daniel Murphy, yeah, he had no shot at home.
No, with 2 outs, the runner's running on contact, and it's going to be would have been a close play any way you look at it. But with 2 outs, he's got 2-3 more steps on it.
Daniel Murphy got the big hit of the first inning, doubling down the right field line with 1 out to get the Mets on the board. J.D. Martin a week ago was pitching in the AAA All-Star game. It was up in Portland, Oregon. It's a long way to go to pitch 1 inning. He was happy to do it. In fact, he's been an All-Star the last 2 years. 2008 with the Indians last year. Akron of the AA Eastern League.
Well, and it's just one more time we can tell the listeners that the major leagues is a totally different animal. No matter how much talent evaluators at the lower levels think you have, this is a just beaten up Mets team that has lost 16 of 20 games, and they're pounding our guy. And I get tired of people saying, well, this guy did great in the minor leagues and this guy did it. It doesn't matter until you prove it up here. What you did the last 4 or 5 years of your life down there does not matter.
That's what got you here.
That's what got
but
you here.
Then you prove yourself all over again.
Everybody says, and I believe it.
That's another base hit by Murphy, and the Mets lead 5-0.
It's easy to get here. It's hard to stay.
Two outs in the second and 49 pitches.
Well, Murphy got jammed on his first double. Now he gets jammed and he gets a single to left.
Five runs on 7 hits.
Well, you look back and you say Nigel Morgan hits the cutoff guy, he'd be first and third right now instead of 5-0.
Here's David Wright. David Wright drills one to center. Morgan's there. That thing was really hit hard. And 2 long innings for J.D. Martin to start his career. 5-0 New York. First time in memory that I can recall him batting 5th. He's batted 1st, 2nd, and 6th.
Well, you read his stats hitting 6th, so I think Jim Riggleman heard you and said, okay, you can't put him 6th, but we'll try him 5. Hitting about what? About $170 in the 6 hole?
143.
Oh, 143.
Yeah. Easy fly ball for Pagan. And Kearns will be next. Austin this year hitting only $199. We've well documented all of his problems, but something he is able to do constantly is to get on base. He's been on base 34 of the 38 games he has started this year. And if memory serves me correctly, in the 6th inning of a 9-4 win over Houston on Monday, May 4th, he was hit on the hands by a pitch by Felipe Paulino, and his season has not been the same since. At that time, he was hitting .250. He had driven in his 13th run of the year that night, and now, 2 months later, he has 16 RBIs. It just seemed like when Austin came back after a couple of days off, after getting drilled, the timing was gone. And 2 quick outs. Alex Cora takes care of that.
Well, I can agree and disagree with you. I mean, he still holds his hands against his chest. And your first movement is to get your hands away from your chest, go back, and then try to catch up to the ball. And he's late a lot. So it's, we talk about Jeff Francoeur. Austin Kearns is not making a lot of adjustments, and he's still hitting under 200.
Yeah. Here's Willie Harris hitting 241, 0 for his last 8. And Dr. Hernandez dissects the outside corner. Willie 286 over his last 21 games, but his playing time's really been reduced upon the arrival of Nyjer Morgan 2.5 weeks ago. $11 walks and 5 steals during that time, as Willie's been getting on base. No, he didn't, says Hunter Wendelstedt, just as Brian Schneider was getting ready to appeal. If the home plate umpire says no, he didn't, he does not have to allow the appeal. It's only if he's not certain. That's 3-2. Now the Phillies have 3 early against the Cubs. Boy, they are rolling, aren't they?
Yeah.
8 in a row, and what, 13 of 14 now for the Phils? And the Nats have a 2-out base runner with Willie Harris. First walk issued by Livan Hernandez. Josh Bard coming up. What's notable? The domination of Livan Hernandez against his former teammates. The production of Nyjer Morgan in 16 games. And the Nats hitting well this month after a paltry June.
Livan pretty much got battered his first couple of starts in this month. 15 earned runs in 8 innings pitched.
4 innings last time. 11 hits, 8 runs by the Dodgers. 3 runs before that. 10 hits, 7 runs by the Phillies. Somebody's hitting him. Josh Bard, but it's foul. The other East teams tonight, the Braves are hosting the Giants behind Hansen 4-0, and the Marlins with Vandenherk are at San Diego later tonight.
Well, and that's Sanchez's first start since the no-hitter. He gets a nice foe in Tommy Hansen.
Oh, what a good swing by Bard. Now if that ball gets away from Reed at all, Harris has a chance, but Pat Listash has to hold him with 2 outs. Your only hope was that ball would keep slicing away, or would keep slicing away from Jeremy Reed. It'll be second and third, 2 outs, and the first major league at bat for J.D. Martin.
Right here, Josh Bard reaches out, touches Livan Hernandez. Second and third with 2 outs. Big spot right here for J.D. Martin. Can really help his own cause and get himself back into this ball game with a base hit. It's not like Livan Hernandez is going to overmatch him.
Yeah, or overpower him, so this will be interesting. But he's got great swing back action on that fastball. When he was here, Livan would throw that ball right at the hip of a left-handed batter and catch the inside corner once they hopped back. Dad hoping for a base hit and an RBI here. Breaking ball 0-2. By the way, Scott Olson is expected to be on the DL for a while. The word labrum came up today. That's close, but a slider misses 2-2.
Livan
thought he had him struck out. But so this might not be just a one-shot deal for Martin. And a breaking ball, a half swing. Levon just flips it over, and the Nats are gone. In the first, they get in the second rather. 2 hits in the game and 3 runners stranded.
Futures game, what was that like, Danny?
Futures game was awesome. I got to play with a lot of my friends. The team from the USA team I was on 2 years ago had Brett Wallace and Pedro Alvarez and Brian Mattis. And I was really happy to see all those guys and see they're doing so well.
What's it been like for you this season in Potomac? You skipped low A and went right to high A.
It's been tough. It's a pretty tough league. I wish I was doing better, but I've made a lot of adjustments this year. It's my first full season. I'm trying to keep my body, in the right shape, and so far it's gone pretty well.
What do you think you need to learn to get to the next level?
I think I just need to work on my hitting most. My defense, I think, has been where I want it, and if I just keep on working on my hitting and it gets better as I go on, then I think I'll be all right.
Okay, good luck. Thank you so much for joining us. And Bob, a night off for Potomac, and a bunch of the Potomac Nationals players are here. Having a great time. Back over to you.
Danny Espinosa, shortstop from Long Beach State. He's only 22, third rounder last year. And with the Vermont Lake Monsters in 08, he hit .328. That was not a long stint, just 19 games, but 64 at-bats. He got a taste of it, and now he's at what we consider accelerated or high A ball down in Potomac. So good luck to Danny. 6 foot, 190. He is a switch hitting shortstop. Time for J.D. Martin to put a 0 on the board here for the first time. Way inside to Jeff Francoeur. He had Francoeur 1 and 2, and it gave him a breaking ball over the plate on which Jeff doubled and made it 2-0. 2-2 pitch here. And there's Francoeur. If anything that he can see, he's going to swing at on 2 strikes. He's not a disciplined hitter.
And Martin would show me something right here if he came back with a big curveball.
Fastball away. 88 on that one. But if you throw the curveball, bury it or get it off the plate away.
Throw it with conviction. It's such a good pitch. Don't worry about it. Another cutter that didn't cut. What makes a major league pitcher tough mentally is that even if a guy beats you on a pitch, you can come back and throw it again. How do you think Levon Hernandez has stayed up here for so long?
Up the middle. If you throw this guy strikes, he'll get hits off you all night long. Francoeur's 2 for 2. Jeremy Reed coming up.
Now he throws him another cutter right here. He takes a little bit off of it, and Francoeur just takes it right back up the middle.
Here's Jeremy Reed, who bounced to the second baseman Belliard first time.
Best two pitches are the curveball and the changeup. If you're not going to throw them up here, you can't pitch up. Got to be able to throw your out pitches when you're ahead in the count and put people away.
Tyler Clippard up early. And evidently the Phillies not very impressed with the Cubs. Raul Ibanez is 25th. Carlos Ruiz his 4th. 5-0 second inning up the road in Philly.
I remember Lilly has a bad knee though. Maybe he's not 100%.
He's given up 5 hits already. And a double play ball. Ronnie Belliard, Guzman, and just what J.D. Martin needed. Bases empty, 2 outs. That play had good rhythm to it with the middle infielders.
Well, he's a ground ball pitcher. He gets the ground ball right here by Jeremy Reed. Tailor-made for 6-3.
Alex Cora will be next. 50 pitches in the first 2 innings. That'll help. Willie Harris on the grass at third. Cora's a good puncher, good runner from the left side of that box. Off speed, just missed. Johnson will take care of that one on a couple of hops. And there's that first 0 that J.D. Martin needed so badly. The double play helped after the leadoff single.
In her hand for this is a play. Nigel Morgan has been nothing but excitement and extraordinary in the field.
Yeah, not to mention Sean Burnett
has been excellent out of the pen. So anytime you can trade a guy that was in the minor leagues and another guy that was struggling for 2 players like this, you've done a great job.
Levon always fields his position well. He seems effortless when he throws the ball. So he always comes up in square, very good fielding position.
Well, he's not trying to throw the ball too hard, so he's standing there flat-footed like a fifth infielder, like in softball.
That's exactly what he is.
And right there, boom. Look at him. Perfect fielding position. Snow cones it, checks it out, says, hey, I know you. Really help yourself, though, at this level if you can field your position.
Ronnie Belliard, a base hit first time.
That's a pitcher. I mean, Greg Maddux, what do you have, 18 Gold Gloves? I'm sure a lot of that defense helped him win 350-plus games.
That was not a replay. That was the next hitter. Come out Sunday, July 25th. Be one of the first 20,000 fans to enter the Nats gate, and you get a free eco-friendly tote bag presented by Harris Teeter. It's got a curly W on it. And then watch the Nats face the Padres at 7:05. Get your tickets at the box office. Call 888-632-NATS or go online, nationals.com. Get your red on. That's a variation of the green bags they give out at your neighborhood Harris Teeter store. I was actually toting mine down to the store last night. That'll be a nice little gift. Here's Nick Johnson, reached on the error. First time up by Daniel Murphy, who threw to second, pulled Cora off the bag on a slow rolling grounder.
Still very early in the game. Going to try to peck away at this 5-run lead.
And by the way, game times on Sundays 1:35. We had a typo Sunday. I know we'd much prefer to fly to Milwaukee after a day game. On the corner, Nick's gone. So are the Nats. 4 straight for Hernandez, 3 comebackers, and a strikeout. He doesn't need any infielders right now.
And they're getting too much in the hitter's zone. And for J.D. Martin to be successful at any level, he's got to stay on the edges and then get below the knees and get the ground balls when he needs the ground balls. But when you start throwing your cutter in the middle of the plate zone and you start throwing breaking balls in succession or a couple or 3 times to one guy that's got a slow bat in the lineup, you're going to get burned at this level because certain guys are looking for a pitcher like a rookie, J.D. Martin, to do back-to-back things and show what they have in their repertoire, and that's what the Mets have done tonight. This is not a very good Major League lineup, and when they're having a field day like they are right now, 8 hits through 3 innings, it's showing a lot of the things that J.D. Martin, I guess, obviously didn't show the Cleveland Indians, and that's why they let him go.
Martin was 8-3 with a 2.66 ERA at Syracuse. 16 games, 15 starts. A 6.3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Facing Brian Schneider, the former Nat. And the count goes 2-2 with Livan Hernandez on deck here in the fourth. Hasn't walked anybody, 1 strikeout, and 5 runs on 8 hits. And Belliard, ball came up on him. Ronnie, great hands. He really got the ball back under control in a hurry. That was not an easy play. Had to go a ways. Then it was a backhand side.
Well, and the key to success at this level too, Bob, is keeping the hitters off balance. And everything he throws is almost the same speed. And he hasn't really shown the changeup. I don't know if he's holding that back, but that's a great play by Belliard. Great recovery, I should say. But there's so many different things about the minor leagues and the big leagues. There's a lot of patience at the major league level. Guys will take pitches and wait for one that they're looking for, that their advanced scouts have seen from this guy in the minor leagues. Down in the minor leagues, the reason those guys are still in the minor leagues, they have trouble hitting certain pitches. So they're swinging at everything. They don't have a plan. They're free swingers, and that's why they're still down on the farm.
0-2 to Livan. The bounce one back to the pitcher, first time up.
Now, obviously, JD had an arm injury, so that kind of set his progress back a little bit. The bottom line is, at this level, it doesn't matter what speed you throw, it's where you locate those pitches.
Yep. Hernandez hits it well, but Niger Morgan is there. Back in 05 and 06, he only threw a combined 24 ball games in those 2 years because of the injury issues. Last year at Akron, 11-3 in 8 starts, 31 appearances. They promoted him to Buffalo, and 4 games, 1 start for the Indians, a 1.80, but they let him go, and the Nats signed him as a minor league free agent in November on the 24th. Angel Pagan, ground ball. Nick Johnson, a backhand pick. Nicely done by the man they call Slick. And now 5 in a row for Martin. He puts another 0 on the board.
I don't think so. Well, I don't remember the astronauts having tin foil on their helmets. Do you?
In some of those cheesy movies they did. You know, where the rocket, you can see the strings holding the rocket as it goes across the screen. Yeah.
There's the one with Leslie Nielsen, and there's like there's some kind of monster, but you couldn't see him. and he went through the Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet. These big monsters, like, you know, walking through their force field and stuff. Dr. Morbius, while he was sleeping, it was his like dream that was the monster.
How much free time do you have?
A lot of free time.
Adam Dunn, you guys give me a single, I'll take a single. Last time up with a man on base, the Mets didn't shift. This time they did. Adam takes the easy base hit. Christian Guzman stepping in, Debbie, and rather unusual spot in the order for him.
That's right, Bob, and I talked to him before the game. He told me that he feels more comfortable hitting higher in the batting order, and the numbers seem to support that. When he's hitting first, he hits 307. In the second spot, he's hitting 379, and in the sixth spot, he's hitting 143. That's this season. Now, Jim Riggleman told me before the game, we talked about those numbers, and he said, hey, you know what? Maybe tomorrow Nick hits lower in the batting order to get some RBIs down there.
Well, the offense has been pretty stagnant lately. Looks like number 2 is his spot. But the Nats aren't using him there. That was a hard hit ball. Murphy boxed it down. Kept it out of right field. Dunn goes to second, 1 out. Austin Kearns will be next. But it's almost as if as soon as Niger Morgan showed up, the Nationals totally abandoned the idea of batting Guzman up in the order, when clearly the number 2 spot is where, well, maybe he should be. But the manager has to put that lineup out there every day. Niger Morgan came into this game batting .367 as a Nat. 22 for 62 now, so that's gone down a little bit. But to me, Morgan and Guzman back-to-back is pretty intriguing. Now, Christian Guzman, and Jim Riggleman acknowledges this, is not the most patient hitter if you have a base stealer in front of him. But if he's getting base hits, so what? I wouldn't be surprised to see the Nats give that a try at some point. Austin Kearns jets one to left. Great swing, a one-hopper to Reed. First and third, 1 out. And a chance for Willie Harris to get Washington on the board. That's the best swing Austin's had in a while.
Well, it's a little cutter, actually a sinker, in on the hands of Kearns. So we get the bat head out quickly on that one. Right now, Willie Harris, you got to make him pay right here. Try to get a double, stay out of the double play. Just peck away, have some fun. Old time baseball.
Nats have 4 hits. And the count's even 1-1 to Willie Harris, who walked first time up. Willie's driven in 17 this year. .30 strikeouts and 166 at bats. So he makes contact about 80% of the time. Changeup, 2-1. But not Levon's true changeup. When he really pulls the string, it's like in the high 60s.
He'll drop that curveball in there at 65. But the thing is, you can be patient with Levon because he is going to try to pick off the corners. And you just have to try to pick the one that you want to drive.
Willie Harris pops it up. 2 outs. And the sound of that indicates the bat might have broken, and Levon Hernandez, of all people, gets in the kitchen of a hitter to break his bat.
Schneider's probably telling his pitcher, listen, got a really good hitter right here. You got the pitcher on deck. Don't make a mistake right here and hurt yourself.
Bard took him left field line with a double first time.
Levon not liking where Louis Castillo is playing.
Stepped off until Castillo could take about 15 steps into a pull position. Right field corner. Home to score is done.
Come on,
third.
run.
You gotta send him. Frank Core's got a good arm. Save! And the Nats get a 2-run double from Josh Bard. That was interesting. Murphy was playing right up on the line, and Josh Bard still got it by him.
I don't know. Whenever you tell your second baseman to move 10 feet the other way, I think it kind of told Josh Bard exactly where they were coming. He didn't waste any time. He rips it down the right field line. I'll tell you what, that is some great hitting by Josh Bard.
And they're calling back J.D. Martin here. He's going to be done for the night. The thing he did do was put zeros on the board in the third and the fourth. And so Martin will sit down, having given up 5 runs on 8 hits in 4 innings of his major league debut. And the Nats will call on Tyler Clippard after Alberto Gonzalez hits for the pitcher. Well, Jim Riggleman could have done this one of 2 ways, Rob. He could have left Martin in for another inning or 2.
Why?
But you're battling back, trying to win a ball game.
Yeah, we're in a different zone than most teams that are just trying to get through 5 innings. You have to try to win every ball game. You're also testing a lot of these players, seeing who's going to be one of your guys that you keep. Some of you may trade. You have 2 weeks to the deadline. I thought he may have pinch hit for Martin in the last inning, or 2 innings ago, when he had the bases loaded. 2 outs and the pitcher up.
Alberto Gonzalez has been pinch hitter extraordinaire this year. He's 5 out of 8 with 4 RBIs.
And a team that's almost 40 games under 500. I'm right there with Jim Riggleman with the lack of patience.
But a comebacker. And the Nats do pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. They finally get some runs against Hernandez. Tyler Clippard will take over for J.D. Martin, who goes 4 innings, 5 runs, 8 hits. Didn't walk anybody, got a double play. He had 1 strikeout and a bit of a baptism by fire on his welcome to the big leagues after 8 full professional seasons.
Hey, maybe if it was better times here in Washington, he stays in the game for 5 innings. But you're trying to win every one of these last 70 games.
It'll be appearance for Tyler Clippard, number 9. 2.79 ERA, nearly 10 innings, 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, 5 walks.
It's going to be Johnny Holstaff every day.
I thought that guy's name was Harvey.
It's Johnny. Johnny Holstaff.
And Logan Kensing is back after converting 12 of 13 save opportunities for Syracuse in a 3.91 ERA. I'd say there's a good chance we'll see him tonight.
Wow, if we're going to win the ball game tonight, need some help from the bullpen. Got to throw some donuts up there, gentlemen.
Mustache, Corrales, McCaddy.
They don't look very happy to me.
Down 5-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Chipper Jones and Garrett Anderson have homered. 3-2 Braves in the 4th inning over the Giants. Marlins later at San Diego. Nats will see the Padres here this weekend. That's right in there, 3-2. Luis Castillo, 1 for 1, sacrificed and an RBI hit. He seems to be the thorn in the Nats' side this year in this lineup. That one will tail right back to Adam Dunn. 1 out. We have trivia tonight. Cue the duck.
Apply.
2 catchers caught the most games with the Nats franchise. Expos, of course. Would that be Gary Carter and Brian Schneider?
One. I don't know about Brian Schneider. You think he's number 2? That's too easy because he's here.
Nick Johnson having a good night at first. Well, let me check my Brian Schneider notes and just see how long. He was with this organization for 8 years. 5 years in Montreal. And then 3 here. Trying to think who the other long tenured catchers were. You know, Michael Barrett was an Expo for a while, but I don't remember him being around nearly that long. You are right about one thing, Rob. Carter Schneider appears way too obvious.
We know Carter. Carter caught 1,500 games.
A lot of his
the Expos, but he did go to the Dodgers and was with the Mets for a time too.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure it's not Robert Fick.
No, Robert Fick. No.
I said that in jest.
Northrop Grumman on the 12-6er. Right about 5 o'clock.
0-2 to David Wright. And some high heat strikes him out. And suddenly the Nats pitchers have become untouchable. Mets haven't had a hit since the 3rd. Halfway through, 5-2. Royce Clayton taking that throw. And there's Brian Schneider at Wrigley Field. Gone. And of course, Gary Carter hated to appear on camera, so we have no video of him.
The kid.
Did anybody love the camera more than Gary Carter?
No, sir.
What a character. What a good catcher. All right, here's Niger Morgan. He's flight out to left, bounce back to the pitcher. The Nats need him on. I think against Levon, he could get to second base pretty easily if he gets that first 90 feet. Change up outside, 1-1. John Bacabella, the catcher. Out to short. Alex Cora got rid of it in a hurry. Good thing he did. Morgan 0 for 3 tonight. Next up, Belliard and Johnson in the Washington fifth. Ronnie is 1 for 2 tonight. Right field corner cam there. And Belliard needs a base hit to get out of the 100 category. He's at 198.
Still on the interstate, huh?
But Ronnie is 6 for his last 18 over 5 starts. Starting to show some signs of life here. That's a good take. Levon turned that ball over. That was a foul ball off the shin waiting to happen. Two and 1. Mets lead the season series 7-2. They've won 2 out of 3 here. The Mets were here. Didn't make their first appearance in this ballpark until the first weekend of June. Nats had already been to New York twice. Plus, we've been up there to play the Yankees. Low throw, good pick by Murphy, and 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Watch the Nats and the Cardinals. The May 3rd rainout game has been rescheduled for Thursday at 7:05. All original tickets from that game will be valid for entry at all gates this Thursday. Get your tickets by visiting the Nats Park box office, 888-632-NATS, or online at nationals.com. Get your tickets today and get your red on. Nick Johnson 0 for 2. Ground ball and an error and a called strikeout. And Levon working quickly. When Hernandez gets that first batter of an inning, Levon starts smelling blood, and he wants to get off the field in a hurry. A little bit in, 2 and 1.
He's still fun to watch.
He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher. He doesn't have exceptional stuff, but he does have a lot of pitches here on the Northrop Grumman pitch track. You see him drop a breaking ball in there at 79. And
he got robbed on that call.
Shows that he can change speeds at will with any pitch, whether it be straight, crooked, change up.
Nothing is ever the same speed or the same eye level.
Or even the same arm angle. I mean, I used to love El Duque, Orlando Hernandez. I mean, he just did so many things. And he even admitted that baseball wasn't his best sport. But when his brother was killed in a accident, he got hit in the head with a machete in a sugarcane field. They couldn't get him to the hospital. That's when he said, baseball's my ticket out of Cuba.
Yeah.
But he was so much fun to watch.
1, 2, 3, go the Nats in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mets 5, Washington 2.
goes to Alex Cora's slide.
That was good. That was the Mets' third run of the ball game and their first run in that 3-run second inning. This will be easy for Kearns off the bat of Jeff Francoeur. So the Nats pitchers are getting this game under control. J.D. Martin does get a tip of the Nats cap for one thing. He got the scoreless third, the scoreless fourth. Now Clippard has retired 4 straight. Nationals Park in our nation's capital. Beautiful Monday evening. Rain, rain, stay away. It has so far. And we're in the top of the 6th with 1 out. Low and away to Jeremy Reed, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of ground balls to second. One of them a double play. Bunting for a hit, but he bunted it too hard. Willie takes it. Well done by Willie Harris.
What a play by Willie Harris. Only one play for you right here, to barehand it and chuck it. Here on the Exmo, watch the finger grip. I think he's got all 3 on it at the time. He just throws it. You have to be quite athletic. Also, he never plays third base, so it's just amazing. There's your 9 out of 10 day third baseman, Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah, how about 19 out of 20 maybe? Bases empty, 2 outs. And an 0-1 to Alex Cora. Clippard throwing well, getting help from his defense.
Hey, this kid wants to play up here. He's into it every time he gets a chance to pitch. He's into the outing. I like him.
This is another guy who waited. This is his 7th professional season. He just slivers off the top of Alex Cora's bat. You and I were talking the other day. These Coras, him and his older brother Joey, they're tough kids, aren't they? From
tough kids,
Puerto Rico. Joey played 11 years in the big leagues.
You hit the nail on the head with the thorn in his side. These guys, like pit bulls, they just keep coming and coming and coming.
Ozzie Guillen likes Joey. He's his bench coach.
I played with Joey on the White Sox. I mean, I have nothing but respect for the Coras. It's just like the Alomars.
And Clippard throws it right by him. 6 in a row for Tyler Clippard. To the bottom of the 6th, Dunn, Guzman, and Kearns. Santana earlier.
We talked about it. A lot of teams this year, I'm sure for the rest of his career will try to pitch him away, hoping he won't try to go that way. And when he does take you that way, he's got the power to reach any left field stand.
That was Adam Dunn's 15th homer of the year, by the way. And the only run Levon gave up in a complete game, 6-1 win. Adams 1 for 2. Launches one, but he got under it. Center field.
They don't see it.
It's coming down.
It just came down.
Angel Pagan.
Along with the Apollo 11 lunar module. Did you see the astronauts on TV today talking about they want to go to Mars? Or we should fly to Mars now on a manned mission?
I did not see that today, but I've heard that discussion in the past.
Well, they were arguing with each other. They're all about 95 or something.
Well, I don't think they're going to go there.
They're not going, but they're saying we should go. No, we shouldn't go.
Yeah.
We should build a space place up on the moon.
Man, can you imagine how far the ball would carry up there?
Well, we could be the first broadcast team on the moon, Lee.
I'm sure some people would like to see us there. Guzman 0 for 2. Well, you'd let me walk into that one, didn't you?
The forbidden planet. You and I are going to be the broadcasters.
People at home are drawing up the schematics as we speak.
Like Space Station 99 and some of those bad Battlestar Galactica.
And a ground ball by Guzman to Castillo. 2 outs, bases empty. Austin Kearns coming up. Here's what's ahead. The Mets and the Nats. Oliver Perez and John Lannon tomorrow night. Craig Stam and Mike Pelfrey on Wednesday. And then St. Louis comes in. Good pitching matchup Thursday. It'll be Adam Wainwright and Jordan Zimmerman before we see the San Diego Padres for the first time this year. Padres are struggling big time. They're the worst offensive team in the league. Now the Nats haven't had a hit since Josh Bard's 2-run double back in the 4th. Levon trying to retire his 7th consecutive batter. That's why Austin's in there tonight. 3rd highest active against Levon.
Righties crush him.
But Felipe Lopez bats left-handed. You see where Felipe is now in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Brewers traded a couple of prospects to Arizona.
Well, Brewers are contending.
It's Pittsburgh, right? Or did he go to Milwaukee?
No, he went to Milwaukee.
Okay, it's Milwaukee.
You're right.
That's right. And, you know, Felipe's the kind of guy, if he's motivated, who can help a ball club. He was a help to St. Louis last year in their race. And then off to Arizona he went. There's Felipe. 2 minor leaguers. And Levon's mad at himself for walking Austin Kearns, but hey, Levon, it's better than giving up a hit. Or not. 2nd walk of the night. Jason Schmidt of the Dodgers. At one time about 6 years ago, he was as dominant as anybody in this league. I'm thinking about him when he was with the Giants in the playoffs in 03. Tim Hudson back almost.
Those two names, Hudson and Schmidt, 5 years ago were 2 of the most dominant pitchers in baseball.
I was just thinking about the Pirates because evidently Freddie Sanchez and Jack Wilson, their middle infielders, neither of them responded to the Pirates, who made them multi-year offers to stay, and they look like they're just not interested in being long-term on a losing ball club, and the Pirates are going to have to make a decision about those guys. Not spectacular players, but very good, hard-working major league guys. Freddie Sanchez won a batting championship. Jack Wilson very steady at short.
He made the most amazing play yesterday. Off the catcher's glove, took 2 high hops, and on the 2nd high hop, about knee-high, he picked it up and threw out the base runner. He's just amazing in the field.
We thought we'd see Logan Kensing tonight. We will shortly if the Nats can get a couple more base runners and get down far enough in the batting order for them to hit for Tyler Clippard. 2-1 to Harris. Willie looks at a strike. 81 miles an hour. Levon has so many different speeds on his changeup and his fastball. I mean, changeups anywhere from high 60s or 70s to low 80s. Willie hits it pretty well to center, but right there is Angel Pagan, and the Nats are gone in the 6th, stranding their 5th runner tonight in a 5-2 game with the Mets on top. Curly W's. Get your red on, come out early. It'll be another T-shirt Tuesday tomorrow. First 10,000 fans receive an Adam Dunn jersey T-shirt presented by Mission Get Hired. 888-632-NATS. Visit nationals.com or stop by the box office right here at the ballpark. You can drive down from work during your lunch hour, park right outside and grab some tickets. Top of the 7th, Schneider, Hernandez, and Pagan.
So do you think Schneider's offended when somebody says, hey, get off the Schneid? Chris Berman.
I think, Brian, if I remember correctly, he did have one year where he started off like 0 for 14, and all the wise guys came out. Hey, why don't you get off the Schneid? I'll say one thing about Brian. One of the most honest, hardworking guys we've ever had in this organization. He, until Mr. Zimmerman asserted himself there, in some ways, in the early days, Brian was one of the faces of this franchise. Drove in 44 runs in 05, 55 in 06. Usually threw out about 30 to 32% of opposing base runners. Tyler Clippard strikes him out there, and Brian's 0 for 3. And he and his wife Jordan were wonderful citizens here. Jordan led a lot of the First Ladies' charitable activities, so they were a real asset to our club.
Well, all those good off-speed breaking balls by Clippard sets up the 90-mile-an-hour chest-high fastball, and Mr. Schneider cannot lay off. He's challenging Levo.
Levo was trying to hit that ball to the Navy Yard station.
I think to the moon. Look, Alice, pow, right to the moon. This guy's a good hitter. 9
career homers and 75 RBIs.
That just shows you
95 sacrifice bunts.
I thought Levo was a very good hitter. Zambrano's got, what did you say, 18 or 19 homers?
That sounds right. Let me page back a couple of days. 19 with 54 RBIs, including that horrible double he hit against the Nats the other day.
That's some Powder River right by you there, Levon.
Tyler Clippard trying to retire, his 8th consecutive batter. The Nats will hit for him in the bottom of the 7th.
They should give Tyler a start.
He started 2 games last year, went 1-1 with a 4.35 ERA. Strikeout number 4. Hey, there are no jobs set other than what, Lannon and Jordan Zimmerman. I mean, there are things available here for those who perform well. Bases empty, 2 outs now for Angel Pagan. He's had a good night, 2 for 3, 2 runs, and RBI. Third time up, robbed on a hot shot to Nick Johnson. We first saw Pagan a couple of years ago with the Mets when Moises Alou had all kind of injury issues in his final year. He was with the Cubs for a while. Came over in a 3-player deal. A good breaking ball by Clifford. Took a little bit off. A lot off, in fact. 76 miles an hour.
Well, he went the 80-mile-an-hour changeup, and he really takes something off that 12 to 6 o'clock breaking ball. Blow some high cheese right by him.
Looks like his best outing of the year.
Oh,
there's
nice
your
choice.
high cheese.
Nice choice. Do it again. Or change up the dirt.
Oh, look at that changeup. Strikes out the side. 5 Ks as he retires 9 in a row. The Nats are very much in this game, but it's time to generate some 7th inning off.
And home runs. He's hitting .303 and he's hit 13 round trippers. Bob?
That's a great week, Debbie. Thanks for the update on Chris. We've had our eye on him for a couple of years. 3 years ago drafted. So here we go, bottom 7. And after the stretch, Josh Bard looks like Anderson Hernandez in the on-deck circle. And then Nyjer Morgan. Josh Bard 2 for 2 tonight, pair of doubles. He has 19 RBIs. There's the former Met Hernandez, who played an inning in the outfield yesterday. So Josh Bard trying to get over the 270 mark with a base hit here. Did he hold? Yes, he did, says Brian Knight. 2-1. 9-1 now in Philadelphia. The Phillies are battering Ted Lilly and the Cubs. That Atlanta game still 3-2 Braves, bottom 6.
I doubt Ted Lilly's still in there.
I will check it, and I would agree with you. Jeff Stevens is in the game now for the Cubbies. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the fourth for the fighting Phils, who scored 9 runs on 8 hits.
No, but they're looking for some pitching. I mean, they had to sign a guy like Pedro Martinez. That shows you that they're hurting for someone to give consistent innings.
What's J.A. Happ, 7-0 now?
Yeah, J. Happ is 7-0 now.
Yeah.
But
Jamie Moyer, 9-6.
Keep talking about trading Happ to the Blue Jays.
Kensing takes it, and on the outside corners where Hunter Wendelstedt called it. And for Livan Hernandez, his second strikeout tonight.
Frank McCourt, the owner of the Dodgers, said that he would not give up his future even for a Halladay. Northrop Grumman just a bit outside on our pitch track. Livan needs those calls.
Now correct me if I'm off base here, but it seems to me what J.P. Ricciardi has done now in Toronto is set himself up for a situation that if he doesn't move Roy Halladay now, for the next year plus, he is stuck with a great pitcher, but an unhappy employee after he's been openly shopped around baseball, rumored to go 2 or 3 different places, and then your fans are thinking, well, we're getting rid of Roy Halladay. He's given up on this season. So what do we have then to look ahead to? And I mean, am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong about that. And here's the thing Roy Halladay can do if he really wants to be a thorn in Ricciardi's side is say no to any trade. Like Jake Peavy in San Diego, which he has the right to do. So he can basically say, oh yeah, hey, you got 10 prospects for me in Philly?
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
Take that. 1-2 to Anderson Hernandez. Anderson was hot for a while, batting average down to 254. He is 3 for 8 as a pinch hitter this year.
Well, but besides that, he's already trying to shop Roland and Rios and everybody else too. So he's not just trying to dump Roy Halladay up in Toronto as Hernandez strikes out.
Now, you know, and everybody's all over the GM. And maybe we're not the biggest fans of this particular guy, but maybe he's doing what he's been told to do by the ownership, the Rogers Group, who owns the Blue Jays. Now that's a good pitch by Livan. That's that swing back fastball we're always talking about. So here's Niger Morgan. So maybe J.P. Ricciardi's taking all the heat for what he's being told he has to do.
Well, I don't think anybody told him to sign Vernon Wells to over $100 million back in the day.
Yeah, that's true. That deal. Nats still don't have a hit now since the 4th inning. Livan spinning his web of deceit one more time tonight. To retire 9 of them in a row, 5 of them on strikeouts, and settle this game down for the Nats and their bullpen. Mets lead it 5-2, eighth inning, and AT&T is the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Game summary: Angel Pagan acting like a leadoff man tonight. 2 hits, 2 runs, and RBI. Josh Bard 2 for 3 and 4 total bases. And Daniel Murphy batting in the number 3 hole, usually where you put your best hitter, doing a good job for the Mets tonight. So here's Logan Kensing, who did not have a good debut with the Nats early in the season, but he straightened his game out since then, Rob. 1-1, 3.91 ERA, and in 23 games, 12 out of 13 save conversions.
All of that minor league statistical jargon is wonderful. We saw Garrett Mock come back and a little jittery. JD Martin come up here a little bit shaky. Logan Kensing come up here and throw strikes and get some people out.
1-1 to Luis Castillo. Out to short. Came up on Guzman. Good runner, has to hurry. 1 out. So that now 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hitters in a row retired by Nats pitchers. 3 of them as we give you a visual on his stats at Syracuse. So Martin, Clippard, and Kensing untouchable now since the 3rd inning. Next up, Daniel Murphy. And I know when the Nationals had to face this guy when he was with Florida, we were always impressed with his arm. 48 appearances last year. He was hurt a lot in 07, 37 games in 06. But the one thing he's never been able to do at the major league level is keep that ERA down. His major league earned run average coming into this year, 4.94.
That was a pretty good pitch. He gave that pitch probably about 6 inches out farther for Livan Hernandez.
Swinging a foul, 1-2.
But if I'm Logan Kensing, I do exactly what I was doing in Syracuse. Pound the strike zone. You throw 95 miles an hour. This is not a very good hitting ball club. You want to get in the good graces up here and get yourself a job for next year with Jim Riggleman and this pitching staff. Blow some people away for the next 2 months.
1-2 delivery. Got him. Hunter Wendell still thought about it for a moment and then pulled out the bow and arrow on Daniel Murphy. Man, how about this bullpen tonight?
Well, Logan did a great job down in the minor leagues, established the fastball, and then gets the break-in ball, back door. Hey, Murph, go grab some pine. Great delivery.
You still don't like hitters, do you?
I hate hitters. I will hate them till I die.
Not ours.
Not literally,
you
but
like our guys, right?
I love our guys. If I was facing them, I wouldn't like them. Good hitting team. But he's a short armer. Reminds me a lot of Kenny Hill.
Right. He was an Expo.
And he has to stay together mechanically, but he's got a great arm. You throw 95 and you're basically throwing from the back of your ear like a catcher. It's very impressive.
Yeah, the ball just explodes and seems to be on you in a hurry because you don't see it right away.
No, and the uniqueness of his delivery, 9 out of 10 guys do not throw like Logan Kensing. They have a nice reach back, slow delivery.
Kensing can't get it, but Belliard can, and it's a 4th consecutive perfect inning by the bullpen and 5 in a row for the pitching staff. the way. And as we reflect on a beautiful Monday night here in our nation's capital, early offense by the Mets against a pitcher, J.D. Martin, making his major league debut. Still the difference. The Nats have 6 outs left to work with. But you have to be encouraged by what we've seen from a couple of the bullpen guys tonight.
Absolutely. Tyler Clippard and Logan Kensing have done a fantastic job. And if you want to assert yourself and take a role in that bullpen, there's plenty of openings. I mean, Julian Tavares was just, sent back and assigned. So the thing is, there's a lot of job openings up here. They're just looking for a few good men right now. You got about 70 games to assert yourself in this Nationals organization. And I think you could be here for a few years. So go out there, do the best you can, and have some fun. And the worst you can do is just go out there and be successful.
Interesting thing about the Nationals bullpen, it started the season young, then it got older. It might be about to get a little younger again. 8th inning, Ronnie Belliard, 1 for 3. Pedro Feliciano takes over for the Mets after Livan Hernandez worked 7 good innings. Two and 1.
It wasn't bad enough that Livan Hernandez was thrown from everywhere, which Feliciano now will go from the other side every arm angle.
But he misses 3 and 1. 97 pitches, 57 strikes for Livan. 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 double play ball. 3 and 1. Nats need runners. Belliard, Johnson, and Dunn in the Washington 8th. Ronnie works for the walk. He's on for the second time tonight.
Tommy Hanson tonight, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs, but 11 strikeouts.
And you can check out the Nats on your iPod Touch and your iPhone. It's called MLB.com At Bat 2009. Play-by-play, video highlights, live audio broadcasts. Visit Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
Got it right here.
All right, so what's Nick Johnson tonight?
0 for 3 with a fly out in the 5th inning.
Nice. How about Nick Johnson, 1 for 4?
We'll take it.
Tying run is coming to the batter's box in Adam Dunn. This could get interesting very quickly.
Nick Johnson takes that left-handed Feliciano pitch to left field. Nick continues to feast on left-handed pitching.
Adam Dunn is 1 for 3 tonight. Sean Green, they've got some good arms in their bullpen. Green, Bobby Parnell, Brian Stokes. The former National Tim Redding is in their rotation no longer and is considered a bullpen guy, probably a middle innings long guy. Nobody out. They can't shift because of the runners. Enhancing Dunn's chance of a hit. Taking one away. There is Murphy. How about that? A 3-6-1 double play by the Mets, and Daniel Murphy made a very good play. Belliard's at third with 2 outs, and that is a rally killer. Can't play it any better than the Mets just did.
Well, you know, talked about situational hitting all year. That's not a good at bat by Adam Dunn.
The Nationals this year have hit into 91 double plays. Their opponents have hit into 66. That's a lot of extra outs.
It's just not using your head, though. You got to think as a baseball player. be a little bit more cerebral and say, listen, the last thing I want to do right here is help this guy get off the hook and hit into a double play.
So a new pitcher coming in, and the Nats rally thwarted. We'll see if Guzman can keep it going. Bard seeing double, and I mean twice tonight. Oliver Perez, John Lennon, lefty tomorrow night.
Steal a line from Keith Oberman when he worked for ESPN.
Yeah. That's a line. Sound like a syllable to me.
This one guy used to boot the ball and stuff like that. There's Ronnie at third. Ronnie's lonely. He wants to see his teammates. Bring him in.
But the Nats lost a base runner on the double play. We'll see if Guzman, who's 0 for 3, and now 8 for his last 60, can get Washington within 2 runs here. Sean Green, 3-year Seattle Mariner, pitched in 160 games over 3 years for them, and he's up to his old tricks with appearance number 45 for the Mets. But a high ERA, 5.31. One and two. Christian Guzman's batting average now below 300. And a breaking ball hit out to left center. Right there's Pagan. Double play kills the inning. Going to the ninth. Mets 5. Nats 2. complete game against John Maine and the Mets here. First career complete game back on June 6th. Nats won that game 7-1. They had a nice game that night. Remember that 5 double plays? 96 pitches to go the distance. Where's that been?
Worked out of a few jams, but that's impressive.
And the Mets' $36 million man, Oliver Perez. 7.99 ERA going for them. Could shape up as one of the worst free agent signings in recent baseball history. 6:30, Johnny and Ray. Holiday and Knight. Nats Extra. Another inning of work for Logan Kensing. And ball well hit. Jeff Francoeur has left the building. And he's 3 for 4 tonight with his 6th homer of the year. And for the Mets, who have very little power this year, just their 53rd home run.
Well, Bob, you said it best earlier in the ballgame. If you do throw him a strike, he'll crush it. Right there, 94, lower half of the strike zone. Frankie Francoeur, 6th home run. Maybe the change in venue will help him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, everybody who plays with him likes him.
Oh, I
know Ryan Zimmerman and Brian McCann and Francoeur are good buddies, even though they go at each other on the field.
Very good kid. Very good kid.
But if you throw the ball down the middle, he will kill you.
Well, and a lot of pressure put on him. He was a homegrown kid from Georgia.
And Jeremy Reed will pop this one up to Niger Morgan. 1 out. Well, the Mets are about to beat the Nats for the 8th time in 10 games this year. Tonight's copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Washington Nationals, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. The Nats are in danger of being 40 games under 500 at the end of this one tonight. Out to second base off the bat of Alex Cora, 2 outs.
You see this report on the Bush twins? They gave the Secret Service fits. Aren't they like young girls? Isn't that what young girls in college do?
They give dads fits.
Exactly. My daughter's 19. She gives me fits.
Well, this inning's over in a hurry.
Yep.
And Brian Schneider is gone. Solo homer Francoeur, and the Mets carry a 4-run lead into the bottom of the ninth.
Well, let's go back upstairs for the bottom of the ninth. 6-2. Mets lead the Nationals.
Thank you, gentlemen. 3 outs to go, and even though it's not a safe situation, Francisco Rodriguez was warmed up. And Rob, obviously, you did this for a living, and when you warm up your closer, he almost always pitches.
Well, they've also lost 16 of 20, so he hasn't had a lot of save opportunities since we last saw him. I'm sure that Jerry Manuel just wants the win.
Well, let's see how many saves he had when they were in town. He had 15 saves on June 7th, and now he has 23. So he's had 8 saves in the last month and a half.
That's not a lot of quality work there. But you need your teammates to give you the lead for that to happen.
Austin Kearns in the bottom of the ninth. Harris and Bard to follow. The Nats have been stopped on 6 hits tonight. Same pitch, same call.
His glove order finally came through. He's now got a blue glove to match his black and blue uniform, as he has red glove to match his Angel uniform.
Man, the guys who just don't allow you to get hits. Billy Wagner says he's going to come back and be in the big leagues. Whether it's with the Mets or not remains to be seen. The Nationals are about to go 8-32 against the East. That's a 200 winning percentage. Bat goes one way, ball goes the other, and Austin Kearns is out. This is a busy week. 888-632-NATS for tickets. John Lennon and Oliver Perez tomorrow night. Cardinals in for a game on Thursday after we wrap up the 3-game set with New York, and then San Diego in for the weekend. And the Nats, by the way, are about to lose their 12th game in their last 13 and their 6th in a row. This will be 0-5 since the managerial change. Willie Harris 0 for 2 with a walk. And 0 for 3, Castillo, 2 down. Last hope for Riggleman's Nats, Josh Bard. Josh 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles tonight. The Nats just cannot beat anybody from the East this year. Pretty good success against Atlanta, but a nightmare against Florida, Philadelphia, and New York. Josh Willingham, if it gets as far as the pitcher spot next. One hit since the 4th inning. And for the Mets, 1 hit since the 3rd. Final look around the scoreboard has the Phillies ahead, 9-1, bottom 7 over the Cubs. Braves all over the Giants now, bottom 7, 8-3. And the Marlins later at San Diego. So you're up to date on the East, where the Phillies, it appears, will keep their 6.5 game lead over the Braves. By the way, that'll be 9 in a row for the Phils. Mets 1 pitch away. And Bard will continue to battle, trying to get on for the 3rd time tonight. Right down the middle, game over. Ball game that takes about 2 hours and 16 minutes. And the Nationals drop it to the Mets 6-2. Out hit 9-6 and lead.